So I have gotten locked out of my house now twice in the time span of 3 months because I apparently cannot learn my lesson. So the first time was in July, uh, and it just so happened to be a day that I was going to have a bonfire and friends over, and it was supposed to be a fun day. And long story short, very long story short, but I was walking out the door with a million things to do and went to lock my door, and my key broke off in the lock. And I do have a digital pad on my other door, but I learned in that moment that the batteries were dead. So that wasn't an option. So, anyway, that was about 30 minutes before people were supposed to start arriving. So, when they came, I'm just like, guess what, everybody? We're stuck outside. Welcome. Um, and one of the friends who was over was like, well, did you just, try just putting the stub of your key into the lock and just seeing if that would be able to do? And I'm like, no. And so he tried that and got in as fast as you can imagine. So, anyway, life went on. We replaced the locks. So the second time this happened was just this past weekend when I was helping some friends take down the siding of their house. And toward the end of the day, I was going to go put something in my car and reach for my keys and realized they weren't there. And it quickly became apparent that the most plausible scenario was that they were at the bottom of the trash heap in the trailer parked along the side of the road. So what we assumed had happened was that I'd been going along the side of the wall, removing some nails, and so as I removed the nails, I put them in my pocket, and then when my pocket was full, I tossed them into a bucket, which was then subsequently thrown into the trailer. And the theory went that in throwing the nails into the bucket, I grabbed the keys along with them and threw them away. And so my friends were like, well, we will look for them when we empty the trailer at the recycling center, but that's not going to be for like a day and a half. Yay. And so now at this point in the story, you may be asking, well, you just locked yourself out like 2 months before. Did you replace the batteries in your digital keypad? Or did you like hide, your spare key somewhere outside for future scenarios like this? And the answer is no. I did not. So, long story short, again, I ended up spending the night at my friend's house, and in the morning, I called a locksmith because no one wanted to answer the phone on a Sunday. But the other thing is that I was out of a car this time, not just locked out of my house. I could not drive. So my friend generously let me borrow his spare car, and the locksmith came over in the morning and got me into my house. And when they eventually when my friends eventually went to the recycling center, thank God they found the keys. And I was trying to defend myself, saying, I'm sorry, I'd never lose my keys. I don't know why this happened twice in 3 months. But then in the following days, I started thinking back, and I'm like, well, there was that time in Nebraska. And what happened then was I was living in a fourplex at the time. I was in one of the upper units, and locked myself out of the house. I walked out, the keys were inside, I closed the door, it locked. And I tried calling my landlord, she was out of town. I tried calling someone else. I tried calling like a coworker. They were out of town, and I was still fairly new to the community at the time. But the couple friends I had made were the two local Mormon missionaries who would come over to my place to play cards on Monday nights. So they came over with a screwdriver, and the window for my unit was too high. But I'm like, well, if we can get into the laundry room, then I can get up into my unit. So I knew there was a window for the laundry room at the base of the house, and so we started taking off the window that I thought was for the laundry room. Turned out it was the window for my downstairs neighbor's shower. The window that was their shower. Yep. Thankfully, no one was in the bathroom at the time. Thank God for that. However, in our haste to put the window back, we did like knock over some shampoo bottles and like made a little bit of a mess in terms of like but we put the window back. And one of the missionaries started wondering what would happen if like a cop drove by or something like that. And he decided that his strategy was going to be to let the officer know in that scenario, to let the officer know that they were Jehovah's Witnesses, not Mormons. Bless his heart. So there was that time. So the moral of the story: always have a spare key. More than one. Put them everywhere. And secondly, it'd probably be best if you didn't ask me to house sit. You may not get back in your house. So, happy weekend.